Hello and welcome. In this video we are going to learn about using animations. We are going to start with importing the sprites that we are going to need to create the animations. Then we are going to learn about a way to only use some of the images. Then we are going to create the animations. And finally we are going to use them in our player script, so I hope you are ready to dive in. Let's start off with importing the assets. So I have left a link down below this video that you can download, and then you can drag the folder into your Godot project after you have unzipped it. Now let's use one of them. So go into the sprite 2D and for example drop the Volk PNG into the texture. Now it's all blurry, so go into texture, inherit, and change to nearest. Now it's not blurry, but there's way too many of them. So go in and click on region, and go in and take this one to 16 and this one to 16. And now you can see that we have this picture, which is the person up there. And in the animation, we're just going to move 16 down, like that, so that we get over to that one, and 32 like that to get that one, and 48 to get that one, and then 0 again. And the reason this will work is because we have this big picture over here. If we say this is equal to 64 times 64, then we get the whole picture. Because I can see that it's a 64 times 64 picture. So we get the whole picture here. Then let's see how many are there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So we have to get 4 on the width and 4 on the height. So this will mean we have to divide 64 by 4, which will result in 16. And here we have to do the same, which will result in this little picture that we get over here. And that's the same as this one. And that's because we don't move the X over here. So when we move this, we simply just say, okay, how many pixels do we move? Do we move 1? Then we get this pixel that's over here. If we move 2, we will get all of this. And we will also lose all over here because we are moving it. So we are kind of scrolling it. And there is 64 pixels, so there will be exactly 48, because we start off with the number 0 and we can go over to 48 because we always show 16 of the pixels when this is 0. And the same logic applies to this one over here. It just scrolls it downwards, like you can see. So I hope you understand it a little bit better now. Now let's create all of the walk animations. So if you go down here, you can see that there's an animation tab. Go in and click on animation and new. So let's start off with this one, which is the walk down animation. So walk down. We can play here, we can go one keyframe forward and we can pause it. And this is backwards and play backwards. Now here there is a button for auto start, and over here there is a looping button. This button will loop the animation, so that will mean if we go to the end, it will loop back and play again like this. And I forgot to show this in the video, but we will have to do this for all of the animations that we create in this video. So let's click on the filter track here and click the plus button, then property track, then spread 2D and texture. And let's click on the filter track one more time and property track and spread 2D. And this time we are going to take the region vect. So let's take the region vect here So now that we have added these, let's go in and configure the length of it. So how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say FPS and 4. So now we have 4 frames. Now let's insert some keyframes. So go down here and click insert key and insert key. And do this for until you get over to the number 3. Like that. Now let's configure the keyframes. So we can see that here it's all correct. But down here we have to move it. So 16 for example, then we have to go to 16, 52 and 48. And let's see the animation. Now as you can see, this is not quite what we want. So the problem here is that we are scrolling it like this and we only want to show it. So what we can do is that we can say direct, and now it should be working again. Now let's go into animation and walk up. And this time let's look how many there are. There are 4. So let's say 4 frames and click on the plus button again and go into this Y2D texture and Y2D region vect and do the same again. Now let's create the idle animations. So go in and click on animation, new and idle down. Go in and take property track, square 2D, texture, and let's put it to 1. And let's add one more, square 2D, region vect. And let's insert the keys. So let's change it into idle. And let's put it into 0 here. Now let's create a new idle up and put it into 1 again and add property track, square 2D, texture, add property track, square 2D, region vect, idle again, and this time it's 16. New animation, idle left, add property track, spread to D, texture, insert property track, spread to D, region vect, insert. Let's put it into 32. And let's create the last one. That's idle white. So property track, spread to D, cancel property track, spread to D, texture, property track, spread to D, region vect, and let's put it into 48. And now we are done with the animations. Now let's create the script to run the animations. So go into your script and let's learn about some enums. An enum is a data type that you can create. And the way you create it is just by typing public enum direction, for example, and then curly braces. Now you can type up, down, left, and right. Now let's create one of these and see what values I can give it. So private direction idle direction is equal to direction dot. Let's create one for none, like this. So here it is. We can give it all of these. So let's give it none right now. Now let's go in here and do the same thing as we did before, where we just used all of those if statements. Now let's get access to the animation player by exporting a private animation player so that we can drag and drop it in the inspector. Now let's play some animations on the animation player. So we will have to go in and call animation player.play for playing an animation. Let's take walk. Let's just see what it's called because it has to be the same name. So walk left, right, and up. So walk up must be the up, like that. And animation player, note that play walk down. And this is walk left. And now we finally get to animation player.play walk right. So now let's make the idle work. So let's go in here and say idle direction is equal to direction dot up. Idle direction is equal to direction dot down. Idle direction is equal to direction dot left, and idle direction is equal to direction dot right. Now let's create an if statement for if the vector is equal to the vector 0, which is 0, 0. So if movement direction is equal to vector 2 dot 0, if idle direction is not equal to direction dot none, so we cannot go into idle if it's none. So let's say animation player dot node dot play idle plus idle direction dot toString, and the toString here is just a way to create anything to a string. For example, 1 dot toString, that's equal to 1, like that. So let's go in and check if this is working. And it is working. So as you can see, it's pretty big, and that's because I scaled it a bit up. So that's it. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any questions or need help with anything, please let me know. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you liked the video, and please subscribe if you want to see more about how to create games. I will see you in the next video.